Hey, this is Notser, and we are in the Tier 10 American Battleship, Montana. She has 96,300 health, a top speed of 31.5 knots, 12 406mm guns, 20 secondary guns, a surface detect of 15.6 kilometers, and 99 AA defense rating. For my modules, improved auxiliary armament health pool, improved secondary gun range, improved main battery accuracy, reduced the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, preventative maintenance, expert marksman, drill and rush, basic firing training, vigilance, manual secondary, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Shatter, and warning, what you're about to see is not normal. If you're offended, please turn off the video and unsubscribe. The rest of you, it's a secondary build in the Montana. I can do whatever I want. Nanny nanny boo boo. So the Montana, obviously the Americans don't usually have a secondary build. But that doesn't mean it's not viable. And that doesn't mean that, honestly, who cares what other people think, right? As long as you are contributing to your team and queuing into the match and breathing, you are contributing more than most, okay? Because it is an objective, team objective game. So as long as you are supporting your team as they play for the objective, you are doing more than most. So just, careful the comments. People are going to hate me, going to hate people like me. If you like to do something slightly different, there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't anything wrong with that. What's wrong is people caring so much about what you actually do. So just enjoy it. Now, for this particular match, it appears at least that the enemy is going an A-B strat. The battleships, apparently, I don't know for sure, have left the eastern side of the map, and they want to support an A-B push on the enemy team. I recognize the potential in their strategy, and I'm going to try and push around very quickly at sea. We have the Lexington, so he is scouting with his aircraft. I would like to get within secondary gun range. I could make a video and never be in secondary range. Oh, look at there! That is the problem with battleships. They're so big that sometimes when you actually get within range, you're already being punished. So that kind of sucks. But I don't really care. I'm going to rotate around the island and see what happens. There are a couple Des Moines that potentially were sticking around at B point. Last known position of them. Now the Des Moines is going to just rock my world with damage output. I've got to hit my shots. And I can't just use the secondaries. Be very simplistic with my shot selection, because the Des Moines, they're basically playing it like every other Des Moines. I've got to believe that someone made a video about exactly what you do in the Des Moines, because, oh my god, they all play exactly the same, don't they? Gonna use the nearest island. I'm gonna go bow on. I'm gonna back up. I'm just gonna keep my bow towards the target, and that's what I'm gonna do. Always keep my bow towards the target. Never engage more than one target. Well, I've got a solution to your problems if you're dealing with this. Don't actually fire at their bow. Imagine that. So, first Des Moines, he's within the secondary range. Yes, we're going to be able to test it out. Now, we are potentially showing our sides, so we need to get ready to angle quickly. And, yep, of course, he's got AP loaded. Oh, you guys are so cute. You're so generic with your selections. 18,000's pretty good. I think that's just fine. I have no problem with that at all. He's going to die in 2 more salvos if we can land our shots like that. God, these guys are so generic. AP, why would you have AP loaded? I'm not going to give you my side. Oh, man. I love it. And I was considering, but no. Keep on God ID-isable. I-disposal. I-disposal. ID-isable. Whatever. Get the guy on the left side. And we are taking consistent damage, obviously. We're the forward, we're the tip of the spear. But I don't care. One more good shot and we'll take him out. You notice where I'm aiming? I'm aiming for the superstructure. Up and above, get over the bow, and get into that nice, soft, insulary area of the ship. Ooh, yes. Oh, yes. See you later, Des Moines. Ta-ta, farewell. The other Des Moines is obviously there, and I have no idea where that was. Maybe that was an accident. I'm just thankful that I didn't get hit by those torpedoes. But notice what someone said. BB King says, watch for the Hubadovsk. Or, more precisely, watch for the Cobb. Watch for the Cobb. And, yep, sure enough, he's there. And it's the Flying Dutchman. I've seen the Deutschman, the Flying Deutschman. But now we have the Dutchman. And I can't pass up a broadside Ibuki. Set the Hubadovsk as my secondary. Angle away. Try and kill him outright. Just barely, not enough. And we gotta be careful. Torpedoes absolutely gonna be coming. Now he was sort of bow on. He couldn't, or stern on. Yeah, that's his butt, Notser. He couldn't really angle to send torpedoes until it was too late. So he's actually sending behind me. So I'm completely fine. I could finish off the Hubadovsk, but I don't want the Ibuki to get away. I'm probably the only target that can actually engage the Ibuki, whereas the Hubadovsk is going to be killed by friendlies. And we take out the Ibuki, friendlies are working on the Hubadovsk, and we're able to double up. Unfortunately, we lose the teammate. Friendly was like, finish him off, finish him off. Maybe if I kill the Hubadovsk, the Ibuki gets away, but the friendly is alive. You know, or maybe the friendly dies and the Ibuki gets away, and we overkill on the Hubadovsk. It's one of those. There's not really a right answer or a definitively wrong answer. Of course, if you read YouTube comments, there is, of course, one objectively correct answer. But I felt pretty confident that I chose right. Take out the Ibuki, take out the Hubadovsk. If someone dies, they die. If they live, they live. It's better that we get 2 ships out of the enemy team than only one and risk the friendly already dying and nothing gained from that. So, I'm going to continue moving forward. Last known position of the Lexington. Pretty far in the north, but I doubt he's there. The enemies, conveniently, are all detected over by A point, so I know that there's nobody out here. This Montana is the only one that's really out here. So I'm just going to rotate around, see what I can get. I don't have a shot on the Bismarck. I don't have a shot on the Amaki. I don't have a shot on the Der Grosse, but I might. This Montana is creeping. He's creeping. Come on, Montana. You know what I'm going to do, Montana. Ooh, he's aware. Look at him. He's like, stop. But I'm going to fire. And I'm sort of trying to aim right at the guns. Right under the gun turret. And ooh. 2 citadels. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Enemy Bismarck is pushing forward. I have his flank. This is what you really want, no matter what build you try and do. You want to try and force the enemy to show their flank to either you or your teammates. As a battleship, in particular, you can force this more than anyone else. It is a massive punish scenario. Probably way overkill on the Bismarck, but I just don't want him healing up. I don't want him risking anyone else's life. The enemy Montana is afraid to engage me. He's behind the island. I don't have to worry about him. I'm not detected. And we're just moving forward rapidly. This game has become a rout, and I just have to try and get as much damage as I possibly can before, and of course he's taken out. So the next logical target is Captain Canada 2015. I didn't realize they gave awards for captains, but oh, Edinburgh. Well, we're gonna try and shoot real quick before the island gets in the way. Ooh, Citadel 13,000. You know what? I like this ship. She works out pretty well. The island's obviously in the way. The Montana apparently is backing up. Shimakaze's giving me smoke, but I don't need the smoke. Let me at him. I'm just going to keep moving forward, set the target. Whatever target happens to be the closest as my secondary. Make sure that our AA works out. And the AA is beautiful in the Montana. It's very rare, especially when it's a tier 8 going after you, that they ever get anywhere close. And ooh, he's fired all his guns, or at least most of them. And he's showing a perfect broadside. Let's finish him. Yes! 4 citadels, 50,000 damage with that salvo. And the Edinburgh is next. I'm coming for you, British cruiser. So the secondaries, we've had a little bit of chances trying to drop on us, of course. If he drops, it's okay, unless he obviously detonates us, and then Wargaming wins that one, right? Fun and engaging. But we survive, somehow. And I'm lucky to fire right before he goes invisible, and we kill him off. Of course, propulsion and flooding forces out damage control. I don't think anyone needs explanation for that. Of course, someone in the chat will probably just, you know what, maybe you should have held on to it longer. Why didn't you use it sooner? Why didn't you heal? I love that. I love that. My Twitch chat, and obviously long-range support, these guys are really far away. The Friedrich der Grosse could potentially be in a little corridor where I could actually fire on him. If you look at the way the islands are set up, they sort of fan out and open up, and I might get a line of sight on the Der Grosse. But there's always someone who's going to argue with you. That's part of the internet. I felt pretty confident in all my selections there. Whether to go after the Edinburgh, whether to go after the Montana, whether to push forward, who to have my secondaries. I didn't feel like I chose wrong. And it all made sense to me in my head. Go after the Des Moines, punish them because they seem to be isolated from their battleships, continue moving forward. Most of the enemy battleships are detected on the other side of the map. I wait until the island icon is gone. Honestly, I could have probably fired a little bit sooner. But friendlies take them out, and now there's only 2 enemies left. Every single choice, there's actually thought put into it. As crazy as that sounds to some of you, I actually think about this. Now, could it be wrong? Sure. Of course. But I think the results speak for themselves. Being aggressive, not being afraid, trying to use and have your team involved. I realize that that I'm in a unique position where I get into a game and most of the people really like me being in their game. So they're probably more inclined to do what I say. Not everyone's going to do that, right? You're going to find resistance. Oh, that sounds stupid. We need to stay in the back and just chill out. But hopefully, people are more interested in potentially pushing for a fun game. This game was really fun from my point of view, and hopefully from everyone in my team's point of view, because we pushed it as a team. We really overcame an enemy's superior position around A and B, and we picked them apart one by one. We took advantage of the isolated targets. You really can't have a better game. So I really enjoyed my time with this. Did the secondary build make the game? No. No. The secondary build did not make the game. In fact, I honestly don't know that it even matters. However, it's not really that far away from a normal build. You swap out a couple modules, swap out 1 or 2 skills, and you're there with your normal Montana build because you really like the AA protection it offers. Secondary builds align very well with it. It all makes sense. So I didn't really feel like I was giving up anything. Concealment is something I probably would like, but if you're really honest with yourself, if you're aggressive and you're trying to push the tempo, you can manipulate islands a lot. The only map where concealment is necessary is probably ocean. The islands work very well if you can manipulate them. That's a big if. It's probably the hardest skill to do, is to set up a scenario where you have the advantage over your opposition and you're not engaging too many targets. It's not like World of Tanks where you just got a giant rock and everyone is isolated. You've got a moving ship. It's very hard to slow down. Everything needs to be considered. And considering how we did in this game, I think the build was success. Kraken Unleashed, Devastating Strike, High Caliber, Confederate, 231,000, 5 kills, 9 Citadels. And you know why it was a success? 2,869 base XP? Because we helped our team win the game. It doesn't matter how much damage I did. It doesn't matter how much kills I did. It was a fun experience to push along that flank and just devastate the enemy. I could do 3 damage and kill 3 targets. We did a good job as a team, and I really enjoyed that. We did about 20,000 in secondaries. When you see 210,000 damage done with the main battery, everything else really doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.